Financing Fridays. Hi, welcome to the Froggy Five. I'm your host, Jim Freilich, founder and managing partner of Froggy Companies, where when it comes to real estate, you can't stop the hop. I'm going to wrap it up with an area not as sexy as the other ones, but I know you've got a lot of thoughts and experience in them. It's part of your forte, and that's the financing. And the question would be, you can take it in one of two directions. Either what you're doing today to solve financing problems. It sounds like not a lot because you're investing fractionally, but maybe something you've seen with one of these project niche related, or something you've done in the past creatively that would be helpful to people on the financing front.
Yeah. So a couple points about that. So one of the tools that we offer on our website for active investors is we have this enormous page on our site dedicated to comparing different lenders who specialize in different types of loans. So you can compare portfolio lenders, who are selling long-term mortgages for landlords, that sort of thing. Construction lenders, hard money lenders, the short-term fix and flip kind of loans, all that stuff. So that's a resource that we're constantly updating on our site. Comparing the interest rates that they're charging, the down payments that they're requiring, all that kind of stuff. It's part of what we encourage people to start thinking of as a financing toolkit that they can draw on as needed. When people first go out and try to buy a rental property or flip a house, often they only know of one way to finance it, right? So when I got my first rental property, for example, what did I do? Went to just a standard conventional mortgage lender because I didn't know any better, right? And that's what the average rental investor does. They just call up their mortgage broker who they use to buy their own home because that's all they know. What we try to encourage people to do is start thinking three-dimensionally about building out a financing toolkit of all these different types of loans or financing options that they can do. Learning how to negotiate seller financing, for example, building relationships with portfolio lenders who keep their loans in-house. They're not just pigeonholing them in conforming loan programs and bundling them and selling them off. Hard money lenders, there's a time and a place for that, of course. We work with a company, excuse me. We work with a company who they're a business credit concierge service, and they really specialize in working with real estate investors. So what they do is over the course of 1 year, they do what they call 3 rounds of fundraising for you. What they're really doing is they're helping you open unsecured business credit cards and business lines of credit that you can then draw on as needed for your real estate investing business, whether that means drawing on them for down payments, drawing on them for renovation costs, using it for your marketing costs, such as direct mail campaigns, whatever it is in your business that you need help with, they will help you open somewhere between usually $100,000 and $250,000 in unsecured business credit. Again, not secured with a lien against any of your properties. It's just business credit. And if you are a real estate investor, you're in business. So you qualify for business credit. And it's great flexible financing. Often the interest rates can be high, but they will go out and they'll try to find you those really good introductory APR cards and lines of credit where it's like 0% APR for the first 18 months sort of thing. 18 months, that's probably time. That's enough time to flip a few houses, right? More than a few, potentially. Yeah. Or to do a lot of BRRRR deals and then refinance them with a portfolio lender. So you can get creative with your financing is my larger point here by combining all of these different strategies and using them in concert with one another or using one at a time that's appropriate for whatever that deal is in the moment. I have financed a property entirely on credit cards before. Wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but you can do these sorts of things when you start thinking more three-dimensionally about your financing.
I love that. Yeah, I like thinking that way. I've used things that way. Yeah, always think first. My wife's way more conservative. She keeps us grounded and balanced, and she handles checkbook and everything. We've done a lot of stuff from having my own house built when I was 29. using the methods I learned from Carlton Sheets, no money down financing. I think it is a really good mentality to keep your view open, your aperture wide open. If you see something good, just assume that there's a way to go ahead and get it. Because if it's really good, if it's a really good deal or something, it's really going to help you move forward, then there's ways to make it happen.
Yeah, useful stuff. And there's endless ways to get creative with this. I mean, there are gap lenders out there. You can do installment contracts. I mean, all of that sort of stuff. Start, if you are an active real estate investor, start building out that financing toolkit. Do things like wraparound mortgages. I mean, assuming the seller's loan. I mean, endless things you can do to get creative with financing if you build that expertise within yourself.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Brian. You just gave a ton of great content as usual, all for free again. Tell people how they can get in touch with you if we haven't already covered it.
Sparkrental.com is our website. You'll see our co-investing club front and center on there. You can reach out to me personally, brian@sparkrental.com. We're on all the major social platforms, in particular YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. We have a couple of huge Facebook groups, by the way. If you are looking for an active community to be able to get like instant answers to questions, our community of active real estate investors is around 48,000 members. We have a Facebook group for passive investors. It's around 8,000 members. Also quite high engagement and active. So yeah, reach out however is best for you. And we're here. We're a mom and pop business. So, we're not going anywhere. It's not answered by a VA. Reach out to us personally.
Great. Thanks, Brian. And we'll put you in the show. Now I'm doing video podcasts for the first time. We'll put some links down here in the show notes about Brian. And I'm looking forward to working with you in the future, being part of the co-investing club and sitting there. And I'm definitely bringing some brandy to the show. The first time I'm looking at a property.
Jim, thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks a lot. Hey, thanks for having me on. If anybody else wants to find out more about what we're doing, please come to froggycompanies.com. Check out our 3 different business areas. We also have the Froggy Fund 1 that's now open for up to $18 million. We're going to be investing that $18 million across a diverse number of assets, cash flowing and ground up. And I'm really excited about this fund and really confident that we can outperform most of the other people out there in terms of what we invest in and how we do our due diligence and the type of partners we put together. So it's great talking to you, and see you next time.